You're now tuned into Difficult People Chronicles. I am Seriously Focused Johnnie, SF Johnnie. Today's episode is called Expenses and the Pandemic. So the states have opened back up. A lot of people is back to work. One of the things I am noticing is that these businesses that have lost money, some are now ripping people off. Let me just tell you what I've observed. I went to one gas station in one state, and let's just say I was to get back $14.98 from the gas station. The gas station attendant gave me back $14. I jumped in my car, not paying attention because I was running late. I had an appointment. Jumped in my car, drove halfway down the street, put the change in the ashtray, because that's where I put it, or the little cup hole or whatever. And then I noticed I didn't hear no change. So I looked down, pulled over, made a U-turn, went back, flipped off the seat belt before I even got to the gas station because I'm rushing. Went inside and said, can I have my change? He said, what change? I said, I was right there at that pump. Nobody has been there. Okay, my change. Like, we're not going to argue today. Not today. Some other day. Not today. He pulled out the change. He slammed it under that. So he was trying to catch instant amnesia, but he knew he owed me my change. I said, whatever. Grabbed my change. The guy behind me said, what's going on? And I said, he tried to rip me off. And the guy was like, what? And then he turned around and I don't know what happened, right? Went to another state, maybe I would say a week later. Went to a gas station, fill up. Gas station attendant gave me back my singles and didn't give me back my change. I said, what in the world is going on here? So I looked at the man. Now this time I'm very alert. I wasn't in a rush or anything. I said, do all of y'all have something going on where you're taking people's change? He just looked at me. He opened up the register, gave me my change in my hand, and rolled his eyes. Do I care? No. Was I going to argue with him? I ain't got time for it. Jumped in my car and left. Let's talk about the next situation, the supermarket. So around Holy Week, well, this one was a little far back. Not as current as the gas. Around Holy Week, I went to a supermarket well known to buy lamb because my mother wanted lamb and she likes the way I cook it. I season it and then inject it, with the turkey baster, but I inject it with the lamb seasoning and everything. Let it marinate overnight. Comes out really good. Anyway, bought the lamb. Got home and I cooked it. Then I gave it to her. She liked it. The next week she wanted lamb again. So I said, okay. Went back to the supermarket, got another lamb. Got home and I said, let me wash the lamb tonight. And then I'll season it the next day. And then it'll stay in the fridge for a whole day and X, Y, and Z. I couldn't get it out the plastic. And I said, well, is this childproof? Like, what's going on? So I finally got it out the plastic. And I noticed it had an odor. I threw it in vinegar, lemon juice, to wash it. It had like a faint odor. But then the odor started getting strong. I went in the bathroom, came back, washed my hands and everything. Took a shower, came back in the kitchen, and I'm still smelling it strong. But what's even crazy is the smell was on my fingers even after I took a shower. I said, okay, we got a problem. Threw some clothes on, took that lamb out, put it in a glass, like one of those Ziploc freezer bags, double bagged it. Then I double garbage bagged it, put it in the garbage bag to garbage bags, wrapped it up, and you could still smell the smell. It was horrible. Then I opened up the garbage bag and threw the the plastic and all that other nonsense that it came in, because I had it in the sink. So I put it in the garbage bag, wrapped up everything, put it in my trunk, and you could still smell the smell. Drove all the way back to the supermarket, went to customer service, and the lady said yes. And I put it right on the counter. And they all backed up like I was ready to hurt somebody. And they was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Lamb." She said, "Did you buy this here?" I said, "No, the other supermarket, and the tag is in their bag." She said, "Do you know how much it costs?" And I said, "Well, the tag is in the bag." She says, "No, I'm not opening the bag." I said, "Well, I have the amount that I paid on my credit card." Yes, she gave me back my money. She double bagged it. So it was wrapped in 4 bags. That's how bad the smell was. I was upset. And then they had to call the other store. Well-known supermarket, call the other store and tell them to pull all their lamb or whatever it is off the shelves. Yes, they should have known better. They knew it was spoiled because they wrapped that lamb so tight that I couldn't get it out. Yes. And it was red. Then you have the fish market. So I went to the Bronx. I was on White Plains Road going to get hard dough bread. And I saw a fish market, a little small fish market. I said, let me go get some salmon and shrimps. Went into the fish market. They have the big shield up because, the COVID and everything. So they pick out everything. You point, they pick it out, bag it, you pay for it, all done, right? Get all the way home. I like to take my meat out as soon as I get home, and then I'll wash it, and then I'll stick it in the freezer so that when it's time for me to cook it, all I got to do is defrost it, season it, and that's it. I took it out, and the fish was stinking. It was smelling so bad that I wrapped it up, and it was late and I was tired. So I wrapped it up in a garbage bags and I put it outside of my door. Yes, I surely did. And then my friend came over the next day and he was like, "Why do you have that smell in your hallway?" And I told him. And he said, "What's that smell outside?" And I told him. I said I wasn't putting it in a freezer because it stank. I don't care. Like, this is insane. So he grabbed it. He went to the fish store and he gave it to them. He came back with like a big bag of shrimp. It was so crazy. And I asked him, I said, "Did you buy it?" He said, "No." He said, "I told them if they don't want to end up on the news, they're going to take this back." And he said they tried to accommodate him any way possible. Yes. So the next situation was a friend of mine wanted me to make him collard greens, and he likes his collard greens with neck bone, pork neck bone. That's what he eats. So I said, okay, cool. So as you know by now, yes, I do cook a lot. I went and got the neck bone from the supermarket, and here we go again. I get home, and it was slimy. I said, yo, I'm going to be a vegan because this whole thing going on here is starting to make me feel nauseous. I put it back in the bag. It wasn't stinking. It was just slimy. So I put it back in the bag and I stuck it in my freezer. Then I took it out the next day, went back to the supermarket. Do you not know that the butcher, he was upset They called him to the front and he came with this attitude and he said verbatim, "You can get another pack." I said, "No, no, no. I want my money back." He said, "Well, because you don't have a receipt." I said, "But you got a tag with the date on it and everything else. And it's the date that is supposed to be fresh until, which is like, I guess 2 weeks or something. The next 2 weeks is supposed to expire, whatever the situation is. You had that in your stock." And he looked, yep, gave me back my money. And I went home. My friend had his collard greens without neck bone. I said, "I don't know what's going on here, but suggestions for everybody, keep your receipts." I normally keep my receipts, but I've been doing so much that I will like throw it in my pocketbook, or it's just somewhere in the car, somewhere, and I don't know where. But regardless of what, they should not be selling spoiled meat, spoiled fish. Gas stations should not be taking people's money. Yes. So I just wanted you all to be aware. And you also have certain places that are adding on extra expenses. You know, they're coming up with these extra fees. So pay attention to things, especially if you're getting work done to your house or, whatever. Find out what those hidden fees, all those fees are. Let them tell it to you, break it down. If you're paying, you need to know. So that's it for today. For one-on-one sessions, hit me up, seriouslyfocusedjohnnie.com. If you have a topic you want me to talk about, sfj.peace, PEACE, @gmail.com. Have a blessed week, and you know how it goes. Love me more, and I love you more. Thank you for tuning in. Later.